Hello. So in the second part of this thing about the human brain, so what happens, like I said, we've got the reptilian brain here, mammalian brain goes over the top, neocortex goes over the top. There we go, a healthy functioning brain. Okay, so when someone gets really upset, or they lose their temper, and you see they're like someone seems really irate, like a child when the child's having a tantrum, what happens is that the neocortex detaches from here. So what we call it is it flips its lid. When it flips its lid like that, and when it does that, the human being, whoever they are, an adult or a child, they can only function on this basically their basic impulses, which is their mammalian instincts and their reptilian instincts. So whether like fight, flight, and freeze, it's like where's there an enemy? Everything's an enemy. Like that's very survivalistic, kind of like survivalistic behaviors. Yeah, like keeping yourself safe, not talking to be able to not being able. You can't really think a lot. You're only once when the neocortex goes away, it's like you cannot. There is no reasoning there to what goes on. The mammalian instincts in your mind, it says, I must attach. I must stay attached to my caregiver. I must stay attached to my partner. And it says abandonment means death. You ever heard the phrase saying that any attention is good attention? And that's part of the mammalian brain, is in saying any attention. If you don't get any attention, if your mammalian part of your brain is saying that I need attention, I need to be heard, yeah. And it's like a kid, when they get loud or they do terrible things, it's like they do terrible things because their mammalian part of their brain is telling them that they have to get their caregiver's attention, and any attention is better than no attention. So we call it like when they flip their lid. Okay, so the main point that I'm getting to is you can't reason with someone once that's happened. You need to wait for them. When they cool down, they come down from that heightened state, then the neocortex will attach back to the brain, so the lid will sit back on, and then the person can think again. They can think, they can reason with them, as you can talk to them, as you have a reasonable conversation about what went on. If someone's like going off on some huge tirade, then basically you can't really, they're only going to be acting on those lower basic impulses. It's not possible because the neocortex is gone. Just as another thing as well, just your neocortex, there is the reasoning center. When a person has things like alcohol, the neocortex, the reasoning center, is the first thing that it affects as well. So they say you can't argue, you can't reason with a drunk person because you can't, and it's because their neocortex, this part on the top here, doesn't work while that's going on. Yeah. So anyway, there might be part 3 coming up to this because it's coming up to the end. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next short. Bye-bye.